So if you're coming to this vlog, it's not so much part two, but the previous vlog that I posted, what we're looking at is this idea of wargaming tactics that are present in any system. I love Battletech, Warhammer 40,000, Chain of Command, DBA, DBN, X-Wing Miniatures, God Tier. Playing all of those games. Hero Quest. I'm playing Hero Quest right now. Yes, it's a board game, but we've got some dice, and we've got some combat to take care of in a fun dungeon setting. All of those games have certain high-level tactics at play. And independent of the system, if we can begin to master these tactics, or at least begin to see them, how they play out on the table, then from that perspective, we can cut down the learning curve and start winning sooner. Or if we're regularly winning our games, you've been playing a system for a while, start to really shift that where we can pull out some amazing tactica and we can kind of upgrade the types of players that we are winning against. We can kind of upgrade our tiers. That's the focus for the next couple of vlogs, independent of system. So this terminology, this is my terminology. You're going to bolt it into your own system, into your own thought process, into your own player personality, and you're going to make it better. You're going to make it better than anything that I'm doing. Let's go from like 10 games to make that jump down to, let's be ambitious. Can we do it in 4 games? That's the plan. So we looked at active versus passive players. And now the next layer over that, not so much part 2, but the next layer over that is understanding the point system of your game. What we see, and I'm just going to name a couple of systems. We have Battletech battle value. Battle value, or sometimes C-bills or tonnage, is used to compose our forces. This idea of you have X number of currency, you spend it on your toys, I spend it on my toys, and the game is about equal. So we can have 2 different lists, 2 different armies, but it's balanced. X-Wing Miniatures, we've got squadron points. Other games, we have support points. Chain of Command, we have the 2 armies, and then depending on the mission, we have 6 support points. I can go in and buy 1 Tiger tank for that entire points. And if you played me in Chain of Command, you know I'm playing the tanks. I love the tanks. Or I can be a little bit more conservative and maybe take a Panzer III and maybe a new machine gun team. Or I can take more infantry and some support weapons like a machine gun team, different elements on the table, maybe a flamethrower team. This idea of you have some sort of in-game currency to spend, modified a little bit by the mission. If I'm an attacker, I might have a little bit more of this currency, and defender might have less, but they have the superior position of setting up beforehand on the table. Putting those mechanics aside, you've got your points, I've got my points, and we buy. Now, at the start of the game, your army, armada, warband, it's at its most powerful. I'm at my most powerful. If we've got 2,000 battle value each, we're ready to go. Every turn, you become weaker and weaker. You take losses. You make mistakes. You lose some units. You start out at 2,000, you take some losses, now you're down to 1,800. Take some more, 1,300. Take some more, 800. You are lowering your battle value as you take losses. Units run off the table, units get destroyed, units get removed. And eventually you reach a point, not so much where you get totally wiped out, although that happens, but you reach a point where just you don't have enough battle value, whatever this in-game currency is, you don't have enough left to effectively stop your opponent or win the mission. Essentially, your army is broken. So every game, we're going down more and more. Now, sometimes this gets reduced just because you make mistakes. I put that unit out there, you shifted, you caught me, you blew me up. Sometimes we match evenly, and hey, this should be an even fight, or I should be able to hold for 2 or 3 turns, and I roll some dice. I'm not blaming it on the dice, although I have blamed it on the dice. We all have. But sometimes you roll the dice, and you're like, what the heck just happened? I just lost my unit, right? Sometimes that happens. And then sometimes it's just the cost of the round. Look, I need to get up there. I need to start pushing for that mission objective, and I'm going to lose a mech or 2 in the process. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just the nature of the element of the game at this moment, at this turn, based on the mission. The cost of doing business, so to speak. So your currency, your in-game unit, army, armada, warband value is going to be going down, down, and down. The key, get your opponents to go down much quicker. Now, how do you do that? How do you do that? The easiest way, because it's a tabletop combat game, you destroy enemy units. And we see this in certain game systems, this idea of the alpha strike, or units and lists that the idea is I am there to inflict so much damage on you each turn that it just breaks your army. Mission, I don't care about the mission. We always play the mission, right? But I don't care about the mission. My mission is just by turn 3, I'm going to break your army. There's going to be nothing left for you to even accomplish the mission. Or we see the potential in gaming systems that are you go, I go systems. You set up your toys, I set up my toys. Round 1, you get to do everything. Move, shoot, assault, powers. Then I get to go. Alpha strike lists are where you damage me so much on turn 1 before I even get to go in the game that I'm like, well, what can I do? So do not underestimate, even when we take out these abusive examples or poor gaming system examples, more of a less reactive gaming system. When we take those out, it's a war game. That's what that is. You need to eliminate opposing models, units, armadas, ships, mechs, warbands, whatever it's going to be, champions. You need to remove them. That is where most people's tactica stop. And in removing opposing models, you're protecting your own. And you want to become very sophisticated in removing enemy models. You want to have ways to combo units. You want to have ways to get rerolls on the dice. You want to have ways to convert hits to crits. You want to have ways to bypass armor. Whatever examples you have in your rule set, I can't say, but you want to have ways to increase the damage that you are putting out. Absolutely. But that's where most or many, or in the beginning, players stop. You can't always remove units. The other way you do it is by tying up this currency. And I'm just saying battle value because I've got battle tech on the mind. Can I tie up battle value? So if you have a very powerful unit, and I'm going to jump into the game for a moment here. If you have a very powerful unit, let's say a battle master. In battle tech, a battle master is a very, it's an assault mech. It's got a lot of armor. It's got a lot of weapons. It's a game changer. If I see this battle master coming forward, calculate the battle value. This is sort of a test. I actually really can't think of the battle value right now. Being put on the spot, let's say it's 1,300 battle value, 1,300 power points, 1,300 points. That's 1,300 points coming at me. If I can't destroy that and remove 1,300 points and reduce your list that you started with by that, then the next best thing is to prevent it from impacting the game. Think about that. If this battle master is coming up and it's shooting its PPC, it's blasting with its lasers, it's punching things out with its fist, the battle value, or fists, the battle value is being utilized against me to remove my models. If I cannot remove it, then can I tie it up? Can I put it in a position where it can't do anything for a turn or two? And since it can't do anything for a turn or two, I haven't destroyed it, but I've taken that currency that my opponent spent out of play. Think about that for a moment. Can you tie it up? Can you remove it for a few turns? Or can you remove it for the entire game? Now, in doing this at a high level, sure, I could remove it. If it's 1,300 battle value and I throw 4,000 battle value at it, surround it, I can stop it. At that point, I could destroy it, but I could stop it. It's not enough to just throw so much battle value at it. I need to throw a lot less at it. If it's 1,300 points, what if I could stop it with 400 or 500 battle value? Could I do that? If I can do that, I'm ahead in the currency. I've taken that 1,300, that battle master, out of the game for a turn or two until it redeploys or until something happens. And then at that point, I've got more stuff on the table going against the rest of my opponent's army because their battle value is tied up. Okay, like just one quick Tactica example, Battletech example, and I'm going to narrate it in general speak if you're not a Battletech fan. You've got this mech, this Battlemaster mech, this giant war robot, an assault mech, very powerful. It's moving down a city. It's moving down a city street. There's buildings on either side. It's going to move through. It's then going to turn, cut the corner, and engage. And now I'm going to have an angry Battlemaster fighting my units. I want to stop it. Now, I'm mixed up in the middle here. I could take off a couple of my own battle mechs, an awesome, and maybe some Shadow Hawks and push them out, throw in a Jenner, these are other mechs, and engage that Battle Master. But then I'm spending more battle value or I'm looking to engage it. What I would normally do is I have a Karnov. A Karnov is, I think, like a giant transport, giant helicopter, rotor, VTOL transport. I have that loaded up with tons and tons of infantry. Infantry and battle tech can be effective in certain situations, but their battle value is nothing. You know, a laser platoon, a short-range missile platoon is like 68, 60 battle value. It's nothing. If I have 2 or 3 of these Karnovs with 2 or 3 platoons, Karnovs are cheap too in battle value. If they fly over ahead of time, they're very fast. I see that Battle Master walking down the street. They fly over, they drop off a couple of dozen infantry platoons on the buildings. They dig in. Now, do you want to walk through that? You could. You're going to take a lot of damage. I'm going to slow you down because you're going to need to engage that infantry. I've thrown maybe, 2 or 3 or 400 battle value infantry against your 1,300 or more. I've tied you up. Here's another example. Close combat, because I love close combat in Warhammer 40,000 and other systems. If I have a super killy close combat Death Star unit that's just going to destroy everything on the table, if I have a mob of units that's low battle value or low currency or points, throw that up. Just tar pit it. Just slow it down. Just be like, here's 50 models. Go chew through that. Yeah, you're going to kill them, absolutely. But it's going to take you 2 or 3 turns to kill them. And congratulations, you killed some cultists. You killed nothing. That's a speed bump tactic. Look to see what you can do on the table and outright eliminate, destroy models. Every turn, you need to be out there earning and removing models from play. But when you can't do that, you're put in the position, I just can't let these other models and units just run on the table and destroy me, because every turn I'm getting weaker and weaker, and I don't want to break first. Can I speed bump it? Can I slow it down? Can I tar pit it? These are all kind of tactica terms. Can I delay it a turn or 2 or 3? By doing that, it's not as optimal, of course, as destroying it, but you have removed that battle value or that currency, whatever was paid for those units that's attacking, out of the game matrix for at least 1 turn, ideally 2 or 3. There is tremendous, tremendous power and opportunity in that.